Welcome back, everyone. Today we're gonna talk about Genesis 4, verse 23. And Lamech said to his wives, Adah and Zillah, Hear my voice, you wives of Lamech. Give ear to my speech, for I have slain a man for wounding me, and a young man for bruising me. This mysterious and poetic statement has puzzled readers for centuries. The Zohar and Midrash treat it not merely as a personal confession, but as a prophetic utterance, a cryptic defense, and even a veiled spiritual song. It merges history, morality, and mystical symbolism, tying together Cain's curse, Tubal-Cain's craft, and the hidden meaning of violence in the Cainite line. The first phrase we have, Hear my voice, give ear to my speech. The proclamation of a legacy. Lamech's opening is more than domestic conversation. It is a public declaration to his wives, almost like a lament or psalm. The Zohar says this doubling, Hear my voice, give ear, is the language of prophetic parallelism, echoing the speech of biblical prophets. Lamech is asserting spiritual authority within his household, yet his words are clouded with guilt and fatalism. He sang like a prophet, but his song was of blood. Midrash notes that his wives had separated from him, refusing intimacy after hearing about the violence and corruption around them, fearing to bear children into such a world. Lamech calls them back, urging them to listen to his justification. The next phrase we have, For I have slain a man for wounding me. The accidental killing of Cain. The Zohar reveals that this man is Cain himself. Lamech, now old and partially blind, went hunting with his son Tubal-Cain. Tubal-Cain saw what he thought was an animal and guided his father's aim. Lamech's arrow struck the target, but when they approached, they found Cain dead. Thus did the hand of Cain's own seed end his wandering. Cain's wounding refers to the ancient curse placed upon him. Killing Cain, even accidentally, fulfilled the prophecy that vengeance would be sevenfold, but through his own descendant. The Midrash confirms this story. Tubal-Cain, skilled in weapon making, guided the shot. When Lamech realized he had killed Cain, he clapped his hands in grief and struck Tubal-Cain by accident, killing him too. The next phrase we have, and a young man for bruising me. The death of Tubal-Cain. The young man is Tubal-Cain, whose name and innovations were the pride of Lamech's lineage. The bruise is metaphorical. It refers to the emotional wound of realizing his grandson had unwittingly caused the death of the family patriarch. In a moment of anguish, Lamech lashed out physically, fatally striking him. This second killing compounds the tragedy. The technological glory of the Cainite line is extinguished by the same hands that ended Cain's life. Midrash adds that this was not murder by intent. Both deaths were accidents. Yet, the poetic form of Lamech's speech may reflect the Cainite pride in turning even tragedy into legend. The Kabbalistic symbol behind the verse, the collapse of Cain's house. This verse is the spiritual end of Cain's bloodline. In mystical terms, Cain represented the distorted aspect of Geburah, severity, when separated from compassion. Tubal Cain represented the culmination of Cain's creative but unholy mastery. By killing both, one intentionally, one accidentally, Lamech's hands symbolically erase the Cainite experiment from the earth, paving the way for the Sethite line to take center stage. The Zohar also points out that Lamech's blindness is symbolic of the Cainite spiritual state, technologically advanced, yet without vision of holiness. To summarize, Genesis 4 verse 23 records Lamech's cryptic confession to his wives. The Zohar and Midrash explain it as the tragic fulfillment of Cain's curse and the collapse of his lineage. The lesson from the verse: the story of Lamech is the story of innovation without vision, a line that mastered the arts of music, metallurgy, and mobility, yet ended in blindness, violence, and extinction. Without holiness, the greatest achievements collapse under their own curse. That's it for today. Thank you very much for your donation. Be blessed, everyone, and I will see you on the next episode.